box was empty. Hi and welcome to Tabletop Gaming. My name is Charlie and today, look, we've got Descent. Now this came in literally as I walked to go do some filming. So this has literally been in my hands for about 30 seconds, been put on the desk, and I am going to open it up with you guys because why on earth not? I imagine you're as excited as I am. This has been a long time coming. We had it in our magazine a little while ago. I'll pop the link in the description. This is super exciting because we have Descent Legends of the Dark. Now, this is a co-op game that is app enabled, and look how huge this box is. This is going to be so exciting to take a look inside. Let's not waste any time. Let's dive right in. Having said that, we'll dive right in. I do just want to quickly show you, look, the pretty artwork, and that goes all the way around. It's a really beautiful box. This is actually slightly indented, so I wonder how this is going to work when it does come apart. It's free! Okay, so lid is off. A couple of things to note though is that look, these beautiful little illustrations that showed up in the box originally are extended, so they come up a little bit higher. And of course we start with a learn how to play. This looks pretty detailed, but what else would you expect from something like Descent? If we're going to go into Tennorith, let's do it right. What have we got here? We have the lore guide, which is really interesting. So this will tell you a little bit more about the people, a little bit about the world, the humans, the things that you're going to need to know. That's all included in there with a beautiful back to it as well. Most of my understanding from Descent, because I have not played before, is of the books that were released by Aconite Books, which are fiction set in the world. We've got a video on that, you can go check that out. So this is quite exciting for me to see it brought to life for the first time from something that I've read, which I appreciate is the wrong way around for many people, but still. Okay, so we've got sort of assembly guides. Most of it looks like sort of cardboard pieces to pop together, but there is a Centurion hybrid who will need assembly. That's very exciting. Let's continue on. We have a little bit more about Tennorith as well, so some bits that you can grab, a narrative role-playing game to stay within, very exciting. And then, look at those. That's so many miniatures. I mean, don't get me wrong, I was expecting miniatures, but we've got a very, very good selection right here. So if we do this to begin with, beneath that, for which this also covers, we have even more. This is going to be that one that I believe needs assembly, because if you look, that is incredible, but all in pieces. Okay, so you may have noticed I've had to get taller because I'm too short for this. It needs to be on top. So then we have what looks like huge stacks of game boards. Look at those. That's quite monumental for assembly. So these have all got little cutouts in them. We've got a couple of tokens. We've got some little bits and bobs. And then on the back, we've got what looks like it's going to be sort of a skeleton of some description, sort of a skeletal creature maybe, that will all pop together. So you're talking, I mean, that's a lot of game boards. That would be probably half the weight of the box just in what's there. Then we have, ooh, we've got Gamegenic sleeves. Nice, if you like to sleeve your games. I've already got some in there. Marvellous. And then, what have we got? So we have information about our turns. Let's have a quick look at some of those. So what our heroes are going to need to do, which are pretty standard. There's a couple of those. And then we have what looks like stats. So you've got overwhelmed, or conditioned, sorry, I should say, and frantic. And those, we have a couple of different colours, a couple of different things. So this looks like inspiration, aggression and innovation. Interesting. Okay, so of course that's not all. This box is too big for it to be. Then we have, these look like armour. So we have things like the plate. And let's skip through to some different things. We have a miasma grenade. That sounds very cool. So you sort of standard, what you'd expect from things like this really is the cards that give you all the information that you need, and we'll go from sort of character to action to items, to those sorts of things. Because this is a co-op board game of like dungeon delving. So because you're all working together, you're all going to have to create your character or keep with your character in such a way that grows them and then takes you through the story. Speaking of characters, this looks promising. We have Bryn, the human avenger, as our first one. Varix, the dragon hybrid outcast Chance, the Hyrix rogue. Cyrus, the human prodigy. And 2 more. We've got Kelly, the dwarf artificer, and Galadin, the elf huntsman. So, as you'd expect, more information on those on either side, so that you can pick your favourites. Now, I'm unfortunately not familiar with the lore enough to know whether they are characters you will recognise, but they look cool characters to use in the first place, so it might be that you build your story through them for the first time, which is just as exciting. Looks like we have more cards that are very similar to perhaps the ones I showed you earlier, in terms of, this is a mutation potion, for example, which gives you information on both sides as to what it does. And then if I flip those over, we've got sort of more weaponry. We have a witch hazel bow, for example, and along those lines, so a spiked hammer, a glimmering wand, all those sorts of things are included in there. Now, the only other thing that came with those character sheets are sort of more terrain, I would say. So gridded, that being your lava, and your generic sort of woodlandy spory, I don't know. This looking like sparse woodland, but that's quite ominous. There are skeletons in there, and then perhaps water maybe. So just a couple of extra bits in there. Still going, still going. There are also Dice Goblin activates. Some dice in there too. They have a mixture of sort of stars, lightning bolts, and pluses on them, and what look like possibly stands. Oh, they'll be to put your dials together and such, to clip together so they all go in one. And some pieces here that I'm unsure of what they are. Let me know in the comments if I haven't figured it out by the time I write this video as to what those are. Now, I heard a rumour that underneath this is empty, so let's check and see how true that is. Oh! Oh! I didn't realise the whole box was empty! I mean, let's be honest, this is board game content at its finest when I'm shocked by the board that is in front of me. But I did warn you I only had it a little while ago, as in like, what, 10 minutes ago now was this handed to me? Okay, so yes, empty box beneath. This makes way more sense. So that everything goes into one box, in theory, I suppose, to make up the space. So that's so interesting. And we've got a little insert as well. I wonder if that stays when you put everything away as it's supposed to be. It's so pleasing when they fit perfectly. Okay, so really interesting. So there is a ton of stuff in here. It is not quite the height of the box, but that's really interesting that they've chosen to do it that way. And I quite like that, actually. Here's all your space for cool stuff. Here's what we've got, but actually we're going to make it easier for you right at the end to put everything together. Glorious. And we get a better look too at that box art that I was so impressed with to begin with. Look at that one's got dragons on it. Very cool. So there you have it, Act 1 of Descent. We have waited for this for so long. It's so exciting for it actually to be on the tabletop, and I can't wait to find out how wonderful it is. I really hope it is. It's very, very exciting. Everything in it has been created so nicely. Everything seems to be of really good quality. Of course, it's Fantasy Flights. There's a certain level of expectation we have, but this looks to be great fun. So I'm very excited to see more. Make sure you pop in the comments if you're interested in this game. Make sure you head to tabletopgaming.co.uk to pick up all those cool features, information, and the magazine itself about Descent and more, Make sure you pop in the comments if you've enjoyed this video, if you'd like to see something similar, and make sure you like and subscribe. Thanks, and have a great day. Thanks so much for watching.